Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about 5 things that hurt my eBay sales. If you're having difficulty making sales right now, you might want to watch this. Maybe you'll get a tip or two. Let's launch this reseller Rowboat. Hey everybody, I hope you had a wonderful week. Today is Friday. I'm leaving the office and I'd have to do a little bit of work for my boss when I get home, but not too much because he went out of town. So I want to go ahead and jump right in to today's topic, and that is 5 things that hurt my eBay sales. I hope some of these tips will help you. Number 1 is when I list everything in the same niche for a long time. So, for instance, if I don't list appliance parts for 1 to 2 months, my appliance part sales just completely stop. And appliance parts sales are very important for my business because those are higher priced items in my store. A lot of you know I basically sell mall brands and clothing. So I'm typically making between $10 and $22 a piece on those before shipping. But on the appliance parts, some of those items sell for over $50 plus shipping. So I really want those sales. And so I really need to make sure that I have appliances in my possession that I can part out, even if it's just one machine. Because what I find happens is even if I just list one machine parted out, some of those parts will start selling, within a day or two, and then it sparks more sales on appliances. I don't know why this is. There's got to be a reason. I mean, comment below if this happens to you, but this is according to my store, okay? So that's why when I don't have a chance to go to the flea market, I like to stop in at different thrift shops, especially when I go to my parents', just to see if I can at least find one machine. So I'm in this kind of predicament right now because when I went on my trip, I bought like 4 or 5 slicers and a formula maker, and those are being shipped to me right now. And once I list those next week, I'm not going to have any clothes to list. I mean, I bought a few things of clothes on my trip, but not many. Maybe about 6 or 7 scrub tops and a couple of sweaters, and that's it. That's not going to be good for me because if I list all those appliance parts and no clothing, my sales are going to go down. I know they are. And some of you have asked me already, Beth, have your sales gone up since you've been back? And yes, I'm happy to say, other than today's been kind of sucky. But yes, my sales have gone up from $375 for 7 days up to $868, I believe, for 7 days just from being back. And I expect it to go up even higher. I want to get it back up to the 1,000 to 1,200 for a 7-day total minimum. And I think I can do that pretty easily. All right, so then the problem is that I don't have enough clothing. So I decided I didn't want to go into the office Tuesday because we're going to have clients there. And my assistant's going to work for me Tuesday. I'm going to work for her Monday. And then I'm going to go to my honey hole for a little bit cheaper on Tuesday. And I'm just going to try to get about 50 items. That's it, 50 items, because truthfully, on Tuesdays, a lot of the items that are left have flaws, and I don't want to bring anything home with a flaw on it. And if I can have 50 pieces of clothing plus those machines, I think I'm going to be good to go. So tell me, does this happen in your store? Do you have one or more niches? If you do, try to make them a little bit more balanced out. If you've been listing media for a week and a half, switch to something else for a little bit and see if that helps you. I literally have this written down in my diary from work, so luckily nobody sees this. I gotta read this. Hold on a second. Okay, so the next thing is to let my promoted listings go stale. And so what I find is that if I turn my promoted listings off on a daily basis for 45 minutes and turn them back on, I typically have a sale while they're off or shortly after I turn them back on. I do believe that promoted listings go stale. Now, the only thing is that if my sales are rocking and rolling one day, I do not turn my promoted listings off and restart. I just keep them the way they are, and I look at the next day and I see how are sales today, and then I turn them off. If I go 3 or 4 hours without a sale, that's typically when I will turn them off. And along with this goes inventory. I take inventory every day, and when I take inventory, I take the item down, I change a photo, I change a word in the title, and I sometimes change some item specifics. For instance, if a pair of jeans is a 16 WP, that's 16 plus, that's a plus size, but it's also a petite. So if I listed it as a plus size in the item specifics and it hasn't sold, when it's time to inventory the item, I will change that to petite from plus. All right, just something that simple, okay? I've also started adding in my description, if something is 100% cotton, I put cotton shrink sometimes, so please check measurements carefully. That's adding something to my description that wasn't there before, and then I put the item back through. Typically, items that I inventory start selling within 1 to 2 weeks of being listed. So if I go a long time without doing inventory, this hurts my sales in my store. So I've been gone for quite a while on vacation and not doing inventory. So there's another reason why my sales were kind of sucky. Okay. Next one is time away. I put my store on time away while I was gone. And I also changed my handling time because I have offers. And I was finding that whenever I would go over to message people, I'd say, we want to make sure you saw our time away banner, and we won't be shipping till November 5th. And they all replied, no, I didn't see your banner. And so I thought, well, why am I putting time away on then? Just change my handling time. And I used to do it that way years ago, but everybody just started bragging about how wonderful time away was. Well, for my store, it hurt my store, because as soon as I turned time away off, my sales started coming in. Now, granted, they were not huge sales, but at least they were not 0 days. All right. I think this is going to be more like 6 tips because I had forgotten that one tip. Let me see. Okay. Oh, can't read. Being something. I don't know what that means. Oh, I know what that is. Okay. Next one is not listing every day. I typically let a certain number of drafts go live every day, and so that hasn't been hurting me lately because I always make sure that I have something to list. And if I go out of town, I look at how many drafts I have that are ready. I divide that by the number of days that I'm going to be gone, and that's how many I let live. So even if it's not my full 20, even if it's 5, letting 5 listings go up a day helps me. All right. And I'm just very diligent. Listing is like the first thing that I do every single morning. What gets me is when I'm out of town. When I'm out of town, I tend to not forget, but I just don't make it a priority, And so listing every day, it doesn't have to be a lot, but you have to let eBay know that you're open for business. The next one is being greedy. And I think I've said this before in my live streams that whatever I list my item for on eBay, my auto accept is typically half of that. So yes, my items are probably listed a little bit higher than a lot of people, but I take less if they offer. But let's say I have something, what I mean by being greedy, let's say I have something that I listed this morning for $20 and they offer me 10, and I should accept 10 because that's my rule. I accept half, but I'm like, I just listed this. Okay. So maybe I should counter at 12. Well, if I counter at 12 and they don't want to pay 12, I've lost that sale. And so that's what I mean by being greedy. If I've got my auto accept on for, let's say, $14.99 and they offer me $14, I should accept the $14. I mean, I get my stuff cheap. My whole goal is to move inventory in and out of my inventory room as quickly as possible, replace it with more, and make more. So I need to stop being greedy, especially when I have something that's really amazing. I had this Joan Rivers tunic that I showed on Kimmy's show a couple of weeks ago, and it sold but it sold for less than I was hoping I would get. It's the most beautiful tunic. It's great to wear to a party for the holidays. And yeah, I didn't get as much as I was expecting. You know, she offered me something and it auto accepted it, right? So I gotta stop being greedy. This is just material. This is simply pieces of fabric. That's all it is. I'm moving it in and out. These people are getting great deals and they're coming back. And that's what matters. Okay. I think that was all that I wanted to tell you about. I also want to mention that if you're watching this video or any other creator's video who has a small channel, which I do, and you're watching it on mobile, when you give the video a thumbs up, I would appreciate it if you would. There's something that will come up called hype. And if you hit the hype button, that will supposedly kick the algorithm in and get me more views. And I would greatly appreciate it if you're on mobile, hitting the like button right now and then hitting hype. And let's see if I can get some more views on my videos. I have so many people telling me they love my car chats. I thought you guys would like the rockin' talks more, but that's not what I'm hearing. So, also, if you're new here, thank you for joining me today. My name is Beth. I live in Texas. I sell on Poshmark, eBay, and my website, and I've been selling online since 2017. So I really encourage you to subscribe and hit the bell. And as always, I would love a comment below. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, that you do have a little bit of fun and great sales to you. Don't forget, we're all in this business boat together, so paddle on, and may God keep you in his pocket. Bye.